BHMTV. What could be better? This is the part of the programme where we go behind the scenes to chat with one of our artists. Who will it be today?
Wow! Today I'm delighted to be speaking to Nicky Newman. Nicky, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, I've been hearing lots of great things about what you've been up to recently. Do tell.
I'm sort of reboosting my career and have been back in the studio as an artist in my own right and writing, and I've released a video of a really lovely 60s cover, and I've released another video of some original stuff that I'm doing. It's really, really exciting. I'm so pleased to be back on that wagon again, shall we say.
Back on the
wagon.
Music, back on
the music wagon.
Yeah.
There you are.
So how long has it been, was that a personal question, since you were last working as an artist in your own right?
I've sort of come from doing a lot of stage work, but as a teenager I was always writing original material, but there wasn't a platform for me to go and sort of do it, and in my head I was thinking, I want to be on stage, and that's where that was. I've sort of discovered more about who I am and what I want to write about. I think now is the right time.
You're working with, and you have been working with a lot of young artists. When you were a young artist, how did it begin for you? How did it start? What was the spark?
I was 7 when I started playing the piano, and it was my first instrument. I had a real passion for it, and I never stopped. And sometimes when you're a teenager, I think you've noticed you sort of get to a point where you go, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And at the age of 14, my auntie heard me singing a beautiful South song, and she went, you've got a voice there, you should have singing lessons. And it was actually from there, having that sort of platform and working one-on-one, working my voice, and realising actually there's so much more that I could be doing with it. That's when I started songwriting.
So did you have your heroes or heroines at that stage? What were the artists that you were looking at?
Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion. I loved Barbara Streisand as well. I absolutely loved all of it. Michael Jackson.
The cream of Motown and gospel, originally gospel singers, Whitney Houston.
Yes, absolutely. I love a bit of Diana Ross as well.
Yeah, great big voices and fantastic material. So from that rich source, what next? What happened next?
I was a teenager with this big voice that didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So when I sat at the piano and I was able to bang out a tune or put chords together, and I thought, hang on a second, I'm going to start being creative here. I'm going to write some original stuff, and that's what I started doing. But all the time in my head, I want to get on stage. And I want to do the musical theatre stuff.
So you went through the musical theatre?
I went through the musical theatre phase. I went to college, I went to uni, came out the other side, didn't do much stage work, but then an opportunity came up with ITV's This Morning, and there was a big competition based around Les Mis, and they were looking for a singer and go and join the cast. And I entered. I was one of the 3 finalists, and lo and behold, I actually won. A big surprise, a big surprise. And it was just such a fantastic experience, and from there I then got to sort of work with other companies and do the directing side of things, and all down in London. It was absolutely wonderful.
So bringing it right back up to date, you've already done some studio workshops and video.
Yes,
had
really
some
exciting.
great success with the Petula Clark cover.
Yes, and I absolutely loved that.
There was a great reaction to that.
Yeah.
What's to come?
I'm going to be in the studio with a top producer, good old Fred Cox, and we're going to be co-writing my debut EP.
Fantastic.
Something that I am going to really thrive and learn a lot from, which I'm really, really excited about.
We'll be bringing that to you. You can guess we'll be sharing that with you on BHMTV, and hopefully getting you back to talk about that once it's released.
That would be ace, I'd love it. Yeah, thank you.
Nicky Newman, thank you so much for joining us here on
You
BHMTV.
are more than welcome. Thank you so much.
And that's all from us for now.
We've all been waiting for this. The UK's most successful independent artist, Femme. Here, we have an interview with her. Hope you enjoy.
Wow! Hi, here we are at Strawhouse Studio, and I'm with Femme.
Hey.
Femme, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Femme has the fantastic, well, the great reputation of being the most successful independent artist in the UK today.
Yeah,
Wow.
just, well, you know, doing my best, doing my thing.
Can you share with us a little bit of the journey? How did you get to this position from where you started? What happened?
I've always sung since I was a kid. You know, I was always that person in my bedroom singing with a hairbrush in hand. I've always loved pop music, especially. But I didn't start writing my own songs till I was about 16. After I finished, actually after I met you, and we did this whole project here when I was first on stage. It was one of my first experiences of being on stage in front of a big audience. And then after that experience, which was kind of, formative in my teenage years, I then started writing my own songs. And then I moved to London when I was 18, after school to study. And I kind of arrived in London as a singer-songwriter with piano and singing voice. And then after 6 months of doing open night mics in London and discovering I can't take a stage piano everywhere on the tube, that's when I started to do electronic stuff. And I had this experience basically it was while I was in my first year of uni. I had one song that got picked up by BBC Introducing, and suddenly it was kind of getting played by Hugh Stevens a lot, and it was getting played even got a few daytime radio plays on Radio 1, and so I kind of got sent around lots of different pop producers at the time. This was around the time of Marina and the Diamonds and LaRue and Ellie Goulding, that big explosion of women in pop around kind of 2009, 2010.
And a lot of that from BBC Introducing.
Yeah, loads, exactly. And so, but then it was basically the same 3 producers producing all the same records, you know, so there was certain people that you ended up in sessions with, and I did a little bit of that for a while, and I found, because I didn't have possibly didn't tick all the boxes to just walk into a major label record deal, I found that I had loads of unfinished songs with all these guys, and none of them really sounded like me, and especially because I am quite a versatile vocalist. In those sessions where you're not producing, you can end up just you'd intended to go there, and suddenly you're over here somewhere, and you're like, how did that happen? This isn't me, the artist that I wanted to be. But it's nothing to say that it wasn't good music. It just wasn't what I wanted to express artistically. So after that experience is when I started to produce my own music, and I just taught myself, and it was just a series of hours and hours and hours of sitting down and making mistakes and. And that was years ago, so I've been producing my own music for 8 years or something. And
so that describes what an awful lot of other people out there are basically doing and trying to do. But you did something else, because most people do that and they get stuck at this glass ceiling where they do well on BBC Introducing, but they can't seem to get any further than that. What did you do that helped you break through that ceiling?
So what I was doing is basically...
Get off your phone and watch BHMTV. So it's time for that part of the programme where we ask some random questions. Who's going to be answering our questions today?
Am I single? Yes, I'm single, but I'm ready to mingle. What is your favourite movie? My favourite movie is Forrest Gump because it's hilarious and yeah. Would you date a fan? Yes, I would, because if they're fit and, beautiful, I would definitely go for it. What would I change my name to? I would change my name to Kiragakesh because I watched this film when I was 7, and ever since then I've wanted to be called Kiragakesh because no one can pronounce it, but Kida for short. Are you good at accents? Most of them sound Russian, but I would say I'm quite good at them. I'm good at my Scottish, so I'll do that for you. You're the prettiest girl in the world. And I like my Russian as well. I dropped the bomb. I'm quite good at Australian as well. G'day mate, you've seen a kangaroo or koala bear? What's your favourite sport? I like all sports, but my favourite has to be synchronised swimming because that's my main sport. That's basically like acrobatics / dancing in the water.
BHMTV. What could be better? We hope you like BHMTV. Now, we want to hear from you. What would you like to see in the programme? We would like to hear from you now. So comment here or write to us here. We're waiting to hear from you.